those donations in now. All right, I've just been given the word that we are ready to see the absolute bomb, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, The Centurion, run by Procyon. Procyon, over to you.
My camera's not working. Whoops, hold on a second. Wait. Why is my camera not going on OBS? Okay. I don't know how to deal with that. Okay.
All right, everybody. Sorry about that. We are having slight technical difficulties. Just give us one moment and we will be right on with the next run. In the meantime, we do have $50 from Rufus saying, so stoked to be supporting such a cool crew of people coming together for such a great cause yet again. Big ups to the crew working hard behind the scenes. Thank you so much, Rufus. It means so much that you donate to this great cause. And also, thank you so much for recognizing the behind the scenes crew. We also have $50 from One True Chaos saying, been watching GDQ for years. This year will be my first one I have had the ability to donate. More games is always a good thing, so I'm putting this toward the Resident Evil bonus game. Thank you all who make GDQ possible. GG. We also have $50 from Anonymous saying, GDQ is one of my favorite times of the year, with so many great runs so far and with many more to come. With 1 million down, let's press onward toward 2 million. Thank you so much, Anonymous. And maybe this is the start of a $50 donation train. Who can say for sure? We have $1,000 from Anonymous with no comment. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for the generous donation. We have $250 from Snacks to Huggy saying, keep up the good work. $50 from Cliff Diver. Love what you all do for the cause. And $250 from Salty Vigilante with no comment. Thank you so much, all. All of this money, I just want to remind everybody, it goes to benefit the Prevent Cancer Foundation, which supports research and treatment into the prevention of cancer. So all of your donations are going to a really, really wonderful cause. And if you watched the prize segment, there are some wonderful prizes also that you can be entered for. All right, we are ready to return with Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, The Centurion, run by Procyon.
Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. My name is Procyon, and it is a pleasure to be presenting Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes for you all here today at AGDQ 2022. For those of you who have not seen this game before, when I click that start button, there's going to be a bomb, a very big one. On that bomb are 100 puzzles that I need to solve. For those puzzles, I have a bunch of very special manuals to solve them, and once I finish solving all those puzzles, that's a defusal. This is a very intensive process for me. It's going to require a lot of focus. So, for that reason, I have recruited some of the best diffusers in the business to do the commentary. Please allow me to introduce my wonderful commentators, Yabbaguy.
Hello.
Espik.
Hello.
KittyAshy.
Howdy.
And Grunkle.
Hello, hello.
You will not hear much from me during this run. I'm going to be completely muting and deafening myself so I can focus. But I think, with that being said, that we are ready to get this going. So, all right. Time is going to start when I click the start button. And let's count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies, gentlemen, and friends, I present to you the Centurion. I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Procyon, and hello, everyone. Welcome to the game we call Catane, for short, K-T-A-N-E. My name's Yabbaguy, and all four of us on the couch have solved not just the Centurion, but a number of other large Catane missions as well. We'll get started just as soon as all the modules load in. But in the meantime, shall we say, what a pleasure it is to be here at AGDQ. There's the bomb in the room there. We see all the modules. Hey, say hi to the bomb. It's saying hi to you.
Hi, Souvenir.
Hi.
And the lights are on and we're underway. So the big thing to remember is that Procyon is reading an off-screen bomb defusal manual. It's basically a PDF file to solve these puzzles. Each of the modules comes with hard-to-read instructions on how to disarm them. And 100 green lights means 100 solves. So as Procyon solves these modules, the status lights will be lighting up green, ideally. And you can track Procyon's progress in the top right corner of the screen. Solves a green, strikes for any mistakes in red. Hopefully we don't get 10 of them. And a timer, which isn't as important as the GDQ timer. Ashy, probably one big question is that I can hear people asking is, I've played Keep Talking before, and how can you play it alone like Procyon is? Like, isn't it usually a team game?
Right, so typically when you think of Catane, you think of a party game that you play with your friends, and you panic and have fun, but we've discovered that there's a very different way to play the game known as experting for myself, which means that rather than trying to communicate back and forth, you instead have the manuals in front of you, which some people would think makes it easier, but in reality, you're having to learn both sides of the puzzles rather than just one. So for example, you don't just have to be able to read the manual and say, dig the red square on Minesweeper, but you have to be able to play Minesweeper, and that could be really hard.
Thanks, Ashy. And Espik, you can see the module order being taken. Some of them are just modules that Procyon knows offhand, but some of them are in preparation for Turn the Keys.
Mm-hmm. The Turn the Keys, you may have seen it. It's on the left side here, and it has two keys in it. And essentially, in order to turn those two keys, you need to solve a list of other modules first. There you can see it on the left there in the middle. And what Procyon's doing right now is he's going through all the modules, including this one.
Interrupted cow.
I always laugh when I hear that sound. And then turn those two keys.
There are some modules you have to solve before others.
Mm-hmm. There's also some modules that cannot be solved before those keys are turned, and Procyon will avidly be avoiding those.
As Procyon plugs away at this round keypad, which is like the keypad you might know from the base game, but, well, different, Grunkle, we hear a particular module that's beeping away, that needy module, like it has needs or something. What can you tell us about that?
Every once in a while, you'll hear some really annoying chime. That's refill that beer with an exclamation mark. Every single time it goes off, Procyon's going to have to flip the bomb over, reset the beer before it ends up going empty and gives the bomb a strike.
Loud sound.
You hear
coming.
another noise, if you're familiar with Family Feud at all, that's going to be Souvenir. It's a module that's constantly chugging away on the bomb. Every single module has some information. Hello, 2-bits. Let's let that go through. That's a solve. Every once in a while, if you're familiar with Family Feud, hear a little chime, that's going to be Souvenir going off. Every single module Procyon solves is going to have some information that will disappear after it gets solved. Procyon's going to have to either remember, ooh, hello. We have an unfortunate miss on Turn the Keys. Oh well. Every once in a while, Souvenir will generate a question about some information that was handled earlier in the bomb. Procyon's going to have to either remember that information or have it written down in his notes to bring back later.
It's that keypad that wasn't solved. That was the reason for the strike. So this should now work. There's the keys solve.
Yeah. That's one of the most intimidating parts about Turn the Keys as a module is even if you know exactly what you're doing, sometimes on a bomb as big as this, which the game wasn't really meant to handle, there will just be some times where you just miss things. It happens to absolutely everyone.
Now, there is one thing. If you look at the timer in the top right corner of your screen, that's not counting true seconds anymore. Anyone who's played Keep Talking knows that every strike you get accelerates the timer. So that gives Procyon about 20% less of the time, but Procyon is very, very, very good at this, so we're not overly worried at all. Espik, Forget Me Not is also a module on this. You may have seen Procyon checking the red keypad every now and again. How come?
Yeah, Forgive Me Not, my favorite module in the game, since it works very differently. We're unlike most modules where you can solve them in any order you want. No.
Procyon's different.
What I'll just say about Forget-Me-Not is that there's a Sorry, folks, we're having some momentary technical difficulties here, but Forget-Me-Not is basically that red keypad, and every single time a module gets solved, a new stage is generated with a new digit. Now, these aren't just digits that have to be recited at the end of the bomb by punching into the keypad, but there's a mathematical calculation that takes place as well for each one, and Procyon is, of course, knows the rules offhand, so this is a pretty effortless task for him. With Turn the Keys now taken care of, we're now onto the modules basically in reading order. So this is Simon Screams, for example. You might remember Simon Says, but this has a variety of different rules and completely different flashes that you have to input.
And to anyone who was paying attention to the screen during this time, we are a little bit tuned out to it, but yes, it is true. Procyon did in fact just solve a literal Rubik's Cube that is on the bomb that is required in order to solve the bomb. It's a long story how it got there.
Who makes bombs like this? And I apologize for glossing over that.
I want to know where they get their funding from.
Now, Ashy, we see that single key down there that says 2948. Pretty simple module, but do you want to explain that one? Because it's the last important one, I'd argue.
So the Turn the Key module, which is a single key, displays a time that you need to walk up to the key and turn it for, and if you miss it, well, unfortunately...
Burp.
Yeah, you'll strike and be unable to, solve the bomb because it'll just strike you out immediately, so it's...
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Appear to be having some technical difficulties.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not good.
Procyon currently working on rhythms, for anybody who thinks that this game is just a lot of math, computation, and words. For any of our more musically inclined friends out there, you just have to figure out the beat that it's flashing, then take the color, put that together, get some notes to click on.
There it is. Now the technical difficulties are resolving. Shapeshift. This is basically slideshow flowchart presentation, the module. There's a variety of auto shapes and arrows, done in a flash, of course. And it's actually based on the edge work conditions is the term for it, which is essentially the batteries, indicators, and ports all around the bomb. You might remember if you've played Keep Talking before, is there a lit car? Are there two batteries on the bomb? But the fun part about the way we play Keep Talking, which is this modded version, which, by the way, you can check out on Steam Workshop, is that we use all the widgets, like all the batteries, all the indicators, all the various different kinds of ports, which we have to know offhand in order to do these modules quickly. That's what Procyon checked at the beginning as we go through adjacent letters. While Procyon works through that, Sabera, do we have any donations by chance?
Oh, do we? We have $101 from Hex saying, longtime watcher, longtime Catane player. I hope I pronounced that right. Shout out to Timway for making the mod manual repo and other tools. There's now over 1,500 modded modules, and I don't think there would be nearly as many without his work. $1 per module. Here's hoping we see a perfect final module to finish. We have $5 from Hello Jasper saying, time for some lightning quick module solving. And $5 from The Bomb Has Been Planted saying, greetings from the Catane Discord. Can we get a $5 hype train going for the largest number of simultaneous Catane viewers in the history of our little game? Do we have time for one more?
I think
yes.
I think so with creation going, just like Doodle God, but go ahead.
We have $50 from Xpagel. Saying, keep talking and nobody explodes is the bomb. Get it? Anyway, very excited for this Centurion run. Let's get that Lost Judgment Gauntlet incentive met. We all want more Froob. Thank you so much. And yes, one more reminder that we are now over $6,000 for the Lost Judgment Gauntlet boss rush. Only 94 to go, so please keep those donations coming in.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sabera. And meanwhile, Procyon has just made a worm, and on we go. This is Follow the Leader, where Procyon has to follow a series of rules, which again are based on those edge work conditions. Has to determine which wire to start at, and then carefully following the list in the correct direction. He should know yellow means forwards in the list and not backwards. Analyze the rule for each wire, so every time the next wire comes up, you have to move on to the next rule and decide cut or don't, just like that all the way around. Check on the beer, check on the forget-me-not, and on we go.
It's one of the tough things about Catane. Not only is there a lot of calculations you have to be doing and a lot of information you have to be taking in, memorizing, spitting back out, but sometimes there are just a lot of really mean tricks in a lot of the manuals where if the wire's a specific color, you have to read through the manual backwards, a bunch of other weird, crazy stuff. We'll get to Ice Cream later when it shows up. Has probably one of the funniest quirks I've ever seen.
It's a fantastic module. Go ahead, Ashy, yes.
I know that a lot of people may not fully understand what's going on, but this is something I think we could all understand. Have you ever played those free flow games on your phone? Connect one side to the other using the colors, and there's a little special rule that says that certain colors cannot be used, but ultimately it's just making the left connect to the right, so if nothing else, at least we have that going.
So whatever connection Procyon makes has to be watertight. Does this look good? I think it does. Yes, it is. And Ash, one other thing I was going to mention as well is that Grunkle mentions there's a lot of weird tricks. There's also a lot of subjects that carried as well. Like, sure, mathematics is one, and Procyon mentioned that he's really into that, but there's a lot of other subjects that carried get brought up as well.
Just up, we will be having a fake strike here soon. This is not a real strike for the bomb. It is a part of the module's quote-unquote theming that the button orders are shifted, the wiring's all broken and old, so one of the buttons will just strike you for fun, or solve the module in Procyon's case.
He actually avoided the button that strikes, or gives you the fake strike.
Very fortunate.
So before,
Ash, I did ask, yeah.
Yes, of course. So there's a lot of different things that the modded community has banded together to create. And namely, what I think about is you deal with a lot of electrical engineering and a lot of math, but there's also music and things that are more obscure, like this is a microcontroller, which any computer nerds would be able to recognize, myself being a computer nerd. And a little to the right is foreign exchange rates, which has to do with the exchange rate of European dollars, that's euros, yep, to whatever ZAR is, and you can tell I'm not into foreign exchange rates, but there is something for everyone, and I think that's what makes Catane really incredible, is that all of us can find something that we love and learn for it.
Mm-hmm. And most
if you have any kind of niche interest, there's probably somebody else in the community who has the same one and has made a module about it. Do you like filing your taxes? Do you like obscure South Korean reality shows like The Genius? We've got everything for everyone here.
There's a module for that. But yeah, the most critical thing is you can pick and choose, such as if you like working in retail, I suppose, here's cheap checkout.
I'm actually surprised. I'm actually surprised about that answer.
There's a list of groceries and... Sorry, I got my train of thought interrupted there. And luckily the customer paid exactly the right amount, so glad they were able to afford their groceries. And now it's on to Battleship, which is a logic puzzle. Procyon could have a few radars, which is based on the widgets around the edges of the bomb, but he's flying right through that as well, and it's on to Mouse in the Maze. Identify the maze, check the color of the ring, and identify which sphere he has to end up on.
Mm-hmm.
36 solves in 17 minutes. Are you kidding me?
His pace is incredible.
Oh, wait, with a strike. Excuse me. It's not 17 minutes. It's...
RTA is even shorter. It's insane how fast. Guys,
hey,
like the speedrunner an event is going quick.
Text field says F.
That's a good sign. That's what I want to see on my bombs. And if you look a little bit, you'll see that we're coming up on one of my favorite modules, and I dare all the commentators in the room to be able to read the display for this module.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but why don't you go first?
I'll go first.
German password is solved.
She shells on the seesaw.
You were slow. You should try being faster next time. But that's okay. We'll take it.
A harsh taskmaster.
Grunkle, why don't you go next?
All right, I got this. Let me show you how it's done. She sells seashells on the seashore. This happened again. We got the exact right combination of words. This isn't supposed to happen. This is supposed to be more impressive, I promise.
And yeah, but that means you will get the final one.
Fantastic. Oh, that beer ran down quickly. Remember, every miss of the needy does result in a strike, and Procyon can afford one early one, but not two. Not two necessarily.
All right, this one's for you.
She shells on the Thaw.
Well, it was a good try, at least.
Now on to wire placement. Go ahead, Ashy.
So wire placement is one of those modules that's more fun if you're communicating it back and forth. Some of the modules, not all, lose their magic without the communication. Like I imagine you can tell the seashells one is a lot harder if you can't see the manuals. But this one, murder, is fun no matter what. Grunkle, you like murder. Why don't you talk about it?
Big fan of murder, yeah. Get the list of 4 suspects, get the list of 4 weapons, figure out where the body was found, take this information, plug it into a handful of tables, figure out who done it, where done it, and what done it.
Nobody ever stops to ask
mustard.
why.
And
we're always looking for ideas for new modules, huh, Yabba?
Yeah. How many modules are we up to now, Grunkle?
Over 1,500 now, just like said the donation earlier. It's
wow.
insane. Every day I wake up, 3 more have been published, and I'm like, I really have to learn all these, don't I?
Shoutouts to our Catane community on the Discord showing up for this. Really appreciate you all. And, of course,
clutch.
Greatly appreciate you all watching as well as Procyon crosses 80 minutes to go.
And while probing's going on and Procyon works through the rest of murders, Sabera, do you want to read some donations?
I would love to read some donations. Thank you for asking. We have $25 from Task Thing saying, so glad to see the game that's been with me for 3 years, taught me how to program, and gave me some of the best friends I could ask for, finally in front of the huge audience it deserves. Thank you so much, Task Thing, for your $25. We also have $100 from OE Gamer saying, the Centurion is such a legendary bomb in our community, so I'm excited to see it taken down in record speeds. Good luck out there, Procyon, and don't forget to turn those keys. We have $25 from Cookie Apocalypse saying, watching you guys prepare for this run has been really great, and I'm excited to watch the final run. Donating to publicly shame Ashy into reading the seashells display. Sorry, it seems like we missed the boat on that one. Oh, absolutely no worries. And we also have $250 from Logix saying, if you ever need to defuse a bomb, never cut the blue wire. Sorry, anytime I tell a bomb joke, it blows up in my face. Heart AGDQ. Well, thank you so much, Logix.
Speaking of Logix, this is the Logic module. This is the Logic module, and it's gone, but it was the Logic module, which uses logical operators and true-false statements to, figure out what the solution is, and if you're a logic nerd like me, then you'll love that mod, but it's already gone, so...
Connection check is just connect the dots, and we're coming up soon on the ice cream module, Grunkle.
Hello, ice cream. You may notice with ice cream, it is very peculiar in that every customer has their own allergies and every single flavor that's offered has their own ingredients. However, the ice cream store is closed on specific minutes of the bomb, and Procyon will have to wait until Valentine's to actually be able to sell the ice cream to the customer. So if he misses out on a cycle, he's better off working on other modules.
But no worries on the cycle. It's an even minute, which is the time valid.
Yeah, high up on the timer.
It does make you wonder, who would be allergic to marshmallows?
I'm sure there's someone.
It'd be a pity. In fact, vanilla means you're allergic to everything that was on offer. Come back another day.
Okay, but let's be honest, vanilla is the best flavor, unironically, so...
Vanilla bean?
Heck yeah, vanilla bean.
Yes.
I know there have to be some mint chocolate chip enjoyers in chat. No one's going to let me down on this one.
Boo! What module is this? It's got lots of color.
Oh, it's
Like
bitmaps.
two.
So there's lots of pixels. The easiest way to read this jumbled mess is that there's 4 quadrants of 16 pixels. That doesn't make it terribly easier, but by essentially counting how many are black and how many are, so to speak, white, you come up with the correct answer, and poof, it's gone. Hopefully, Procyon wrote that all down for Souvenir because it's one of the trickiest questions. If any of you are watching this stream and are trying to pay attention to everything that happens, I'll be curious to see how well you score when Procyon attacks Souvenir at the very end.
Now there's enough. Souvenir is right down and left of this module right here, complicated buttons, and he's already done with it. But Souvenir, it usually will ask questions periodically as the bomb goes on, but Procyon is deciding to save them all for the end of the bomb. And just like Forget Me Not, this is a module that you have to solve at the end.
Espik, you want to explain that blind alley real quick?
Okay. Yes, that is an actual module. It's called Blind Alley. It doesn't look like a module. It looks like an unfinished abomination. I wouldn't call it abomination, just an unfinished...
A mistake.
A mistake, pretty much, from the bomb manufacturers.
But, yep, it's based on the edge work conditions around the bomb as well. This is more semantics, it's Morse and math, so please sit still and only watch Astonish the Blinken Lights. At the end of Procyon's calculations, he'll have to input a Morse letter just like this.
Looks like that was...
And it's right.
An O, I'm pretty sure.
Dash, dash, dash. Hey, anyone recognize this quiz show? It's Only Connect. Procyon has to select the correct hieroglyph, and then for language lovers, you'll see a variety of letters making up the connecting wall from various different languages. We're looking for 3 groups of 3 letters from the various languages. Of course, all of these are in the bomb defusal manual, as always. You don't see it, but it's always a part of it.
Unfortunately, the connecting wall will solve the module, so to anybody familiar with the show, if you want your missing vowels round, you will have to look for a different module.
If you're anything like me, where you look at these letters and go, wow, those are letters, I'm in the same boat as you are, do not worry. I look at this and I go, I recognize nothing. But I know there's a lot of language fans around, so...
Those are 2 different S's. One thing about speedrunning strategy is a lot of it is knowing certain things offhand, like that G, dotless I, and S are from Turkish. That's actually one I happen to know offhand. Having certain knowledge of certain parts of the manual can make especially hard puzzly modules like this much easier. I'm looking at my... I see this is light cycle, so Procyon has to arrange a series of lights. Sabera, do you mind if we go back to you and check in again?
Do I mind? Please. We have $25 from Confuzzled Viewer saying, holy how, this contain thing is way out of my league. Let's get the Lost Judgment Gauntlet boss rush incentive met so we can watch more gaming things I'm not good enough to do myself. Well, we do love to put on a good show here and live vicariously through the runners. We have $30 from Goofy saying, Goofy here, so good to see Catane being on AGDQ 2022 with Procyon & Co. Come here, all Catane community members, and keep the train going. P.S. Yabbaguy, radio moderator when?
I will say one thing. One donation mentioned that this seems out of their league. Maybe right now it is, but there's steps on the way. And just to mention, this is modded Catane, so the base game only comes with 11 regular modules and 3 needy modules. It is a fantastic team-building game. You gotta give it a try.
Absolutely. And after you finish vanilla, if you do want to get into the modded experience, our Discord and even on the repository, we have a lot of resources for new players to be able to access, like mission packs designed for people who want to build up to doing this bomb one day. And a bunch of community-made tutorials, some made by me, some made by even other commentators here.
Heck, I've even made some.
Sorry, do we have time for a few more?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. We have $10 from Procyon's granny saying, Procyon, you never write, you never call, and now you never explode? Good luck with the run, dearie. It's always touching to read donations from a family member. We have $100 from AT Bash saying, never thought I'd see Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes appear on GDQ, let alone the Centurion. And this is only a taster of what the Catane modding community has to offer. Shout out to Steel Crate Games for making this awesome party game and giving my first go at modding for video games. And I wish Procyon the best of luck with this behemoth of a bomb.
Something I would like to mention is that AT Bass actually made this mission. So shout outs to him as well.
And a number of the modules as well, such as Color Flash and others that I'm forgetting offhand, but...
Semaphore and...
Piano keys, right?
Yes.
Sure. I remember enough of my history.
Yeah, but all different people making this, but without Bash making this, rather. There you go. 3D Maze time. Ashy, you like this module, don't you?
No, actually, this module has given me so much strife in team communication because if you don't know anything about this game, knowing your left and right is very important, and it happens that my team has no idea what the difference between left and right is half the time. So we'll be like, can you go left? And then it's a wall. And that's a strike, and it's over. Goodbye, everybody. But Procyon won't be doing that here. He won't be slamming into a wall unless it's the required wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, funnily enough, the way this module solves, you have to run around the maze, find letters on the ground to figure out which maze you're actually in. Then instead of, exiting a maze like a normal person, since this one loops around in every direction, you have to calculate where the right wall is and in what direction you need to run into it in. And it'll solve the module.
Using a cardinal, you will, figure out where your orientation is based on that wall. And another thing that my experts, specifically one of the donators, Cookie Apocalypse, struggles with is the difference between west and east. So it's always an adventure.
I don't blame him. I mixed up those two a lot as well.
This module looks a bit weird. It is upside down, based off of the vanilla module Who's on First, but, just not the right orientation and with some awfully confusing characters just to make your life a little bit harder.
This is third base.
But what's on second base?
I don't know.
I thought that was the outfield. Oh, I don't know the skit.
Come on, Ash. You're better
I'm
than
so
this.
sorry.
Probably a good time to catch up on a donation or two, Sabera.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have $25 from Numdagast saying, great to see a wonderful game given the AGDQ treatment. This game and a community has with me for a lot of hard times. Here's to diffusing cancer. Could Grunkle do his best imitation of the listening sound that played? Thank you so much, Grunkle. We have $10 from Ultra Seaboy. This is my first time donating to GDQ, and I couldn't think of a better run to make it to. Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is one of my favorite games of all time, and to date, the only game I've made my own mods for. Needless to say, I'm super excited for this run. Best of luck, Procyon. You can do this. We have $25. Thank you, Nux Tenma. Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes with 100 modules? I didn't even know you could do that. And I'm not sure I've ever managed a bomb with 10. Let's get that 2 million for PCF. In case anybody forgot, all donations benefit the Prevent Cancer Foundation.
It's such appreciated. I appreciate PCF's vision to prevent cancer, like to not even have to fight. Every person that can avoid that is worth donating for because, the fight takes resources and being able to bypass that is great.
Absolutely.
That was Guile's theme and some rhythm being played.
You've done it. You've got us copyrighted now. And this is chord qualities. These are the music modules I was talking about earlier that make me very excited because this is something I understand, unlike languages and written letter communication. So you gotta find the qualities. You gotta find the chord quality and then return a different chord, and I'm going to remind all of the music majors in the chat of their chords. Actually, I don't know what this chord is, so never mind, I won't scare you.
So
music majors might be able to know. Oh. Sorry, Espik.
Okay. Up next here is a mod called Switches, and actually one thing to note is there are some modules on here, 2 bits, which was solved way at the beginning, the other one, that were actually made by employees of Steel Crate Games who have made this wonderful game that we're playing right now. And I think it's really interesting to see that we get some, not just modules from the community, but also from actual devs of the game. It's really special in that way.
Really appreciated that support. Oh,
We got Comic
We
Sans
got Comic
on web design.
Sans.
so this is web design where there's a bunch of lines of code and you assign plus or minus points based on the quality of the website. And you see Comic Sans, that is an instant -5 deduction. So clearly not a very good scoring website. The buttons don't actually line up. Like, it's not like negative means X and positive means check mark, but yeah, we take a lot of points off for Comic Sans. Although apparently it's a good font for dyslexia. It's apparently a more legible font. Fun fact.
I mean,
No.
I wouldn't call it a bad font. It's just overused.
You may wonder why Procyon's taking a little bit to start this really simple-looking sliding puzzle. It's because there's that knight in the top left corner that he had to uncover before revealing that skull in the bottom right. You don't know where either of those are until you math it out. If you uncover the skull before you uncover the knight, that's going to be a strike.
Not this time. And apart from that one turn the key strike early, completely strikeless up until solve 67. Please, I consider the commentary box a jinx-free zone.
Oh, yeah.
Or I
Welcome
hope that's
to
right.
one of the most cursed modules of all time. We have silly slots. Pull the lever, get 3 symbols, 3 colors. If it's a valid configuration, you get to keep it. Otherwise, well, might have to keep spinning for a while. Silly slots is really painful. It's one of thanks, Procyon. As it's one of the most fluctuating modules in terms of how much time it can take. Sometimes you can just keep it on the very first stage and you're done. Other times you have to pull it literally 4 times and it takes ages and it's agonizing.
Procyon very carefully inspecting Forget-Me-Not. This was Procyon's module he was most afraid of at first. Says it's a variable amount of time. It's tricky with all the conditions. And we're polling again, up to 4.
I'm pretty sure my world record of the Centurion, which was world record at some point and isn't anymore, had a 1-stage silly slot, so it can really make it break a difference of like 2 minutes. But silly slots is looking like it's going to be 4 stages based off this rule. Green, blue, red is banned configuration unless certain conditions apply.
Well, the good news is it will solve on the next one. And Procyon also doing very well to multitask certain particularly easy modules, such as Boolean Venn diagram. Knowing the logic symbols offhand, there's actually, once you've done that, there's actually little need for certain manuals in the game once you have enough knowledge. For example, there was an anagrams module in the bomb as well. This will be a solve. So it depends.
The clock.
Oh, there it goes.
4th pull.
Well, that's
You
done.
hate to
And now-
see it.
And now it's on to Zoo, which has an internal timer built in. Procyon has to get a line of 3 animals, or line of 5 animals, find the 3 that appear on the module, and then select them in the correct order before the module's internal timer slams the hatch shut. So here we go. The timer has started. Does Procyon know where the symbols are? Quickly. There we go.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Box
Just in
dropping.
time.
Point of Order was that game that looked like Mao, or that said Mao when it solved, is another module with an internal timer.
Probably
Shout out
another
to the
good
electrical
time.
engineers.
Electrical engineers are cheering right now. Probably another good time to bring up the difference between experting for yourself and team games, especially when you're having to describe the animals on Zoo to other people. It can be a real pain to try to get people to understand what you're talking about.
I think I
Here we-
spent like 3 minutes. Go ahead, Espik.
Sorry. Here we have binary LEDs. Those LEDs up top are displaying numbers in binary, and although it doesn't look like it, that's what it is. And what Procyon has to do is cut one of the certain wires when that display is representing a certain binary number. And sometimes it may take a while, like that one did, but usually this module can go really quickly, or it can take an extra second or 2. here we move
73
on-
solves at 42.
Yeah. Here we have symbolic password, which is, I think this puzzle has a name. I'm not too sure what it is, but it uses the symbols from the keypad module from the base game.
I think it appears in another video game. I forget which.
Passwords like
looks
that are very
familiar.
popular. But I wouldn't know what they
multiple.
are.
We'll be sitting here scratching our heads for hours at this rate.
Caesar's cipher is pretty simple. It's rotating the letters forward in the alphabet, essentially, forward or backwards. It's the same offset for each one. And now it's on to chess, which is a 6x6 grid. These 6 numbers give 6 different coordinates for different pieces, which Procyon has to figure out which is which. And then, once that's all set, has to place all the pieces in the grid and find the one square that is not attacked by any of them. Knowledge of chess rules is needed for this module, but once you know it, it's really great.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to break for a donation here as
Yeah,
well?
I was about to say the same
let's do
thing.
that.
All right, wonderful. $50 from Lingo Maniac, longtime viewer and occasional Catane modder here. Keep up the good work, everyone. And for the record, mint chocolate chip ice cream is delicious.
Thank you. Someone gets it.
We have $5 from Marvin the Martian. Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
I've already had to boo. I don't know if I could pull out my Marvin impression too.
We have $25 from Scooty2Fruity saying, looking forward to the Centurion run all week. Put this toward the Lost Judgment Gauntlet boss rush. Also, hi, Sabera. Hi, Scooty. We have $250 from Anonymous with no comment. Thank you, Anonymous. As well as $250 from Granite Crow with no comment. Thank you, Granite Crow. We also have $500 from Anonymous with no comment. Anonymous is really generous today. Thank you so much, whoever you are.
Preventing cancer needs no comments.
That is
Fizz
true.
Buzz. Remember that classic childhood game? Count up 1 and 2, Fizz, 4, Buzz. Except the numbers have like 7 digits, and you also need to do more math to figure out what they really are.
I was kind of bad at that game. I always would lose track of where we were.
Welcome to Modules Against Humanity. Not everything here is civilized, I promise. Every single one of these cards, handwritten by Flaminus, the person who made this module, references another module within the game, modded or otherwise. You have to figure out what module the cards actually reference, figure out if it's on the bomb in order to find out what cards you're supposed to submit to solve it. There we go.
Here's another module with an internal timer. It's fast math. That green bar on the right will be counting down once Procyon hits the go button, and then those letters represent a number, which he'll have to add or subtract a certain number from, all within 10 seconds. Here we go. And it could be 3 to 5 stages of this, just like Simon says. We'll see.
And I really want to stress that there is something for everyone here in Catane. You
Yes.
may feel overwhelmed staring at so many different things, but fast math solve. There's something for everyone. You can play with the mods you're interested in specifically, and never touch fast math if you're like me and panic.
Welcome to Simon States, probably one of the absolute staples of the modding community. Everybody loves making Simon modules. Almost all of them, follow the configuration of Simon and then an S word. If you can think of any verb, there's probably one for it. We got states and screams here. There's stores, selects, stages, stashes, smiles. We've got everything.
Even supports. So here we have Ashy. Do you want to describe Monsplode Fight?
I would love to. This is our ripoff of Pokemon. We have created our own set of little creatures with types and moves, and this is a perfect time for me to announce that Espeon is the best Pokemon and best evolution, and anyone else who disagrees is objectively
Your opinion is misguided and completely baseless. Vaporeon's obviously the best.
This is going to be a great time for me to step in and say that both of you are wrong, Sylveon.
What are y'all thinking? It's clearly Glaceon.
I'm gonna fight you to the death if you think Glaceon's the best ice. More like not nice.
Oh,
Whoa.
I confess I
Take
stopped
it easy.
counting. I stopped counting at about 250 or something like that. This is German who's on first. There were a number of translated modules that were created at the time where modding filled the gap for, everyone to have a language which they can appreciate the wordplay in. But now the game is localized in several different languages.
Yeah, even the modding community is working to get the modded modules localized in a couple of different languages. Even on the repository, a lot of modules that don't require a lot of general English language have translated manuals for you to be able to use.
This is Hexamaze, where you're trying to avoid invisible barriers. That probably sounds familiar, but the colored pawn tells Procyon which wall to exit out of. Nope, not that one. Keep looking. There we go.
There we go.
That's a ridiculous generation, too. There's only one clue, that circle up at the top left. I don't know if that's good or
wow,
bad.
I just noticed, yeah. Usually you have a ton of symbols to identify where in a giant hexagonal maze your miniature maze is, but that is like nothing at all.
You
we
think
have-
coordinates is a good time for donations? Or
Yep.
Alrighty then. We have $50 from DC Enigma. Not sure how you speedrun bomb defusal, but I'm super here for it. Good luck to the runner, and thanks for all that GDQ and its staff, runners, and volunteers do. Thank you so much as well, DC Enigma. We have $50 from Nakarashi saying, thank you to everyone involved with this wonderful event. Can we get a $5 donation train going for the Lost Judgment Boss Rush? I can't wait to see Froob crush those. Here's 10 tickets to get us going. We also have $50 from Silly Person saying, let's get that Boss Rush incentive, chat. We can do it. I do want to remind people that the Lost Judgment Gauntlet Boss Rush incentive is still open and will be open until the end of the next run, which is not as much time as you think it is, but it is still plenty of time for us to meet that $100,000 incentive. So please keep those donations rolling on in.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Sabera. Someone mentioned what you can speedrun exactly. I mean, there's a bunch of different missions. So the Centurion is basically the category in the context of this game, but there's a bunch of missions which are both smaller, but also, in the case of a mission that I know Espik and Ashy have solved, larger.
The Praetorian, has 161 modules. It has all the modules in Centurion plus the next 60 more. And it takes at least 2 hours to complete. And dealing with that and the needy and another needy is brutal.
And I led the team behind Away, which is 235 puzzles, and it took me about 5 hours. So
One with absolutely
absolutely
everything.
gets really big.
Jinx.
It's really scary.
Hey, no fair jinxing.
All's fair in love and war. It is important to note that the game wasn't really necessarily built for bombs of this size or even larger. The zooming functionality that you'll see Procyon using a lot throughout this run isn't even built into the game. It is, in fact, the mod that we've had to make ourselves and has effectively become a standard for everyone playing. Because other times, it's really hard if you can't zoom in. Welcome to Yahtzee. I'd like you to guess what we're supposed to be doing here.
Making a full house.
Not the full house. We
No.
don't want the full house. Do not wish that upon Procyon. Goal is to get all 5 dice to be the same number. Unfortunately, if you roll a full house, you can't keep the set of 3. You always have to keep the set of 2.
That's not
Fear.
true. There is a condition to keep the set of 3, but it's very rarely hit.
Well, never mind. We're good. No full houses here. All is well in the world.
That's a speedrunning strat. You could try at home. Just spam the button. While Procyon listens carefully and clicks these dials into position, is it too soon, Sabera, or should we go back for donations?
Oh, it's always time for donations. We have $5 from Marksum. Really happy to finally see this game being played on GDQ. Best of luck, Procyon. As well as $47 from Timwee. So hyped to see my favorite game and favorite modding community featured on AGDQ. Join the Discord, play Catan with great people, and make your own module too. Is a great invitation. I think I'm going to do that.
Shouts to Timwee. He actually made a handful of modules on this bomb.
I think you can keep going.
All right. We have $250 from K King Bob with no comment. We have $100 from Wiz with no comment, and $250 from Zach with no comment. Thank you all for your extremely, extremely generous donations. Do we have time for a couple more?
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. $250 from Trevor and Adrian R. Happy to donate a bit more to such a fantastic cause. Thank you to all the runners, crew, and everyone for an enjoyable week so far. Here's a bit more to that Lost Judgment Gauntlet. as well as $50 from Ginkgo. Excited to see Lost Judgment get shredded like Yagami shredding on that skateboard. This is going toward the boss rush incentive. Thank you all so much for pushing us closer to that Lost Judgment gauntlet boss rush.
This
Big
is just
fan of all the support for the boss rush. Absolutely well spent.
all I have to say is just thank you so much for all these donations. It's greatly appreciated, a cause near and dear to me, and thank you so much for the support. This module is going to look very familiar in a matter of time. Procyon first has to select the correct color tile, and maybe you figured out what's about to happen next, but it's going to be very obvious soon. There it is. It's Minesweeper. If you've never...
Dog, I heard you like bombs. So we put some bombs on your bombs.
If you've never played it before, you should. Minesweeper is just a game of here's how many mines are around the square. There's 2 mines around 2s, and so forth.
Yeah, unfortunately, you do have to change modes because right-clicking will just deselect the module and zoom you back out.
And that's Minesweeper. Woo! That was
90.
Are we looking for pace?
Incredible.
Yeah, RTA is insane on this. That one strike has really brought time down to a time that only a lot of people could even dream to achieve without one.
Mm-hmm.
We can't see the timer on our stream, but I'm looking at Procyon, and he's only approaching the 46 minutes elapsed mark right now. Remember, the timer has been accelerating the entire time since that turn the keys strike, but no more with no other strikes since.
And,
2-stage LED encryption, though. That's a good roll for once on this bomb.
Yeah. LED encryption, that mod's right there. You have to press a different letter button for either 2 to 5 stages, and Procyon got the luckiest case of only needing to solve 2 stages. As we move on to number pad, or never mind, he's already done. Moving on to Rock, Paper, Scissors, Lizard Spock, the game that I'm betting a lot of people have played the shorter version of.
Any Big Bang Theory fans? That's the show that popularized the game, in fairness. It's been around for longer than that. One thing we never mentioned during the whole thing, the puzzles are all procedurally or generated is a fancy word for saying they're different every single time. So although Procyon's memorized the manual and how to approach these, like this tic-tac-toe, they all are different every single time. So it's not a perfectly memorized run. It can't be. Now, in tic-tac-toe, the irony is that we're trying to avoid tic-tac-toe. So, no, we don't want to place that X in the middle left. That will almost certainly cause a strike. Now, once Procyon determines the starting row in the manual and determines which tile to press first, you'll see the trap with this module, which is going to be
Yeah,
very...
just put on the 8, right? It's that easy.
No.
That's tic-tac-toe. What?
There's the catch. There goes the grid. Hopefully Procyon noted it down for souvenir because 2 modules to the left, that ultimate quiz is coming up.
It's going to take a long time. We've got a lot of good donation reading time while Procyon's grinding that out. We'll get there eventually.
Well, it would be my pleasure to read more donations. We have $100 from Neckmau33. I've been watching the event for 9 years now, and I'm still amazed by all the work done by the runners and all the staff to give us such emotions and such an amazing event 2 times per year for such a great cause. Keep it up, and good luck, Procyon. Don't explodes. We have a $50 donation from Silly Puppy. You got this, Procyon. All of us at TGB are so proud of you.
The Great Beret, or the first team that solved this bomb. Continue, Sabera. You got plenty of time.
Absolutely. We have $50 from Rex. Shout out to my TGB brothers, Silly Puppy and Skyward. I'm so lucky I have such amazing friends. We'll get that normalized mission on Saturday for sure. We have $50 from... Sorry, I apologize. We have $500. I misread that from Anonymous with no comment. Thank you so much, Anonymous. And we have $300 from Lee with no comment. Folks, even if you don't have a message to write for us, these donations are so wonderful. They help so, so much. And so thank you so much for sending them in. We really, really appreciate it. We have $25 from Darth Sasquatch. This is for my wife who helped me through the toughest time of my life when my mother died from pancreatic cancer. Donation goes to Reader's Choice. And Reader's Choice, of course, is the Lost Judgment Gauntlet Boss Rush. And Darth Sasquatch, I am really, really sorry for your loss, and glad you had somebody to help you through. We have $100 from the bottom tier. There aren't many causes greater than fighting cancer. It's affected my life too, taking my grandfather early, as well as afflicting my mother and grandmother. Let's all do what we can to stop cancer in its tracks.
Thank you so much, Sabera. One thing quickly, and you might still have some time. Time will be called when the bomb zooms out and goes bring at the end on the last solve. And I had another thought and I forgot it, but it's back to you. We still have time.
All right. We have $20 from The Tiny Cat. Always hyped for any runs from the Yakuza universe making it into GDQ, and so looking forward to spending hours with Froob's excellent commentary. Let's get that gauntlet. Here's four tickets for the $5 train. Thank you so much, The Tiny Cat. We are making good progress toward that gauntlet boss rush, folks, so let's keep it going.
I think we've got time for about one more before we start wrapping things up here.
And then Procyon will interrupt. Go ahead.
All right. We have $20 from Tomato Walrus saying, congrats on hitting 1 million.
Fantastic. All right. So any
Nice,
moment
to the point.
Any moment, Procyon will click on here once Souvenir is done, and he'll be walking us through Forget Me Not and the end of the bomb and the outro. I think there's still a few seconds away. These questions could have been taken as the bomb progressed, but I think for speedrunning's sake, it's better. That's not going to be too much of an issue. For speedrunning's sake, it's better to just take them all at the end. Again, I'll be curious how many you're getting right throughout the course of the stream. Thank you so much for any part of the stream you were able to tune in for. We're greatly appreciative. My goodness, there are more questions than I remember. I'm keeping a track of the time, and in fairness, that needy's getting distracting. Procyon running it late, but that also helps with the time as well. By my count, about more than half of the modules are on this. There we go. On Souvenir.
Okay, that's a mistype.
And that's a solve. Someone said time, right?
Oh, yes, that's time.
Time!
There we go.
So, time for the purposes of GDQ. One of the great things about this game is that, well, time's right there. 33:47 is the amount of time remaining. We started with 100 minutes. Some of you may have noticed that the timer sped up during that. So we usually time this game via in-game time. So this would go down as 33:47 to go or 66:13 in real time. So 66:13, I told myself at the start of this run that I would donate $1 to GDQ for every minute it took me, so 66 minutes there. If anyone was particularly moved or impressed by this run, I would recommend $66 is a good donation for this run. That was an interesting run. I'm going to throw this over to my commentary team for final comments.
Yeah, all I'll say is just what a run. Your final elapsed time on GDQ's clock was 53 and a half minutes, so congratulations on an incredible
Keep
time.
talking. I'm going to check something.
Yeah, absolutely. And all I'll say to everyone else...
That might be our data.
Let me check. I'm going to check this.
We'll check the footage on that. Meanwhile, thank you so much all for watching. If you want to give this a try, remember, Keep Talking is a much easier game than this. You could get just the base game, and it's a great time. But if you want to have your go at some mods of some difficulty, certainly not this to start, we have a Discord, and it's all on the Steam Workshop. So we'd invite you to give it a go if it looks at all interesting.
Finally got our vanity link back, too, so people can actually find us now.
And,
can I get the official GDQ time for me, please? What's the official GDQ time? 53:30. We are going... The actual elapsed time of the bomb may be slightly different than that by a few seconds. But... the previous best real time, and like I said, real time doesn't really matter. We go by in-game time, but for whatever it's worth, real time... That is a world record.
Unreal.
Unfortunate, but
easy
I had
clap.
such doubts at the start there because I made such a dumb mistake at the very beginning, and I knew I made that mistake because I had seen that module that caused me to strike. So, yeah, that's unfortunate there, but
it almost meant something.
That was an amazing run.
Yeah. Those strikes were scary, but we held our nerve, and yes, we were all trying to stay quiet so you could concentrate there at the end. Glad you pulled through.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys have any other final comments? Because I have just a couple words I'd like to say very quickly, please.
Not for me.
I'll try to be really fast. If you liked what you saw today and were thinking to yourself, dang, this doesn't look like what I did. I remember there being multiple people playing. You should come check out our community. We love and adore playing the game in a cooperative scenario too, and we think we do amazing things too. Shout outs to the teams that I've played with. You guys rock.
Espik, Grunkle, Yabbaguy, are you guys good?
I'm good.
All right, and just very quickly, I just want to say, I first started watching GDQ in 2017. It was the Undertale run at AGDQ. TGH did an amazing job. It inspired me to get into into speedrunning Undertale at the time. Speedrun.com has some really bad runs for me on Undertale. Don't look for them. But that was an amazing journey, and I just cannot believe that I've been able to run here at an actual GDQ event for everybody. I'm really happy that this happened. It was an honor and a privilege to be here, and I'm just, there's so many people I need to shout out. I know that there's a lot of watch parties going on. Notable members of the Keep Talking community are hosting parties. I know Silly Puppy, Testing are hosting events. They're wonderful people. There's so many wonderful people in the community, and I'm just so overwhelmed right now. So
many of them donated today. We're greatly appreciative.
Many of them donated. That's wonderful. Thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you for having me. Last thing I want to say, our good friend of ours wasn't quite able to make the commentary box for this run. He's been busy moving. In the meantime, in the middle of his move, he defused one of the Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes hardest bombs in existence last night. So I would need to give a shout out to my good friend Caleb. And as Caleb likes to say at the end of all of his streams, and I will say at the end of this stream, stay crazy, stay cool, and have a lovely rest of your day and a lovely rest of your marathon. Thank you all. It's been a pleasure.
All right. That was an amazing run. Absolutely stellar. I've played Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes as a party game. I've never seen it done like that before. Thank you so much, Procyon. We have a $250 donation from Sam Fun Dev saying, I had to get a donation for a community that I've been with for 4 years now. Shout out to everyone in the Contain community that has supported me and the mods that I've made. I've made the HUD and a few modules on this bomb. I can't believe it's being run at AGDQ. You've got this. Thank you so much for that donation. We have $25 from Ghostayane. Lost Judgment was easily the best game to release in 2021, and just one of the best games in the Yakuza series altogether. Can't wait to see Froob destroy the game. This donation obviously has to go to the boss rush. We have a $1,000 donation from Blue Cheetah with no comment. Thank you so much for that. We have a $5 donation from Last One Out saying, obviously chocolate chip cookie dough is the best ice cream flavor, but feel free to donate and prove me wrong. We have $5 from Failed Uplink saying, $5 train for Lost Judgment Gauntlet Boss Rush. Let's go. Thank you all so much for the donations. I do want to once again remind everybody we are approaching the $8,000 mark on the Lost Judgment Gauntlet Boss Rush. There is still plenty of time to make up the gap. So please keep those donations running in, because every dollar that comes in for that incentive is another dollar for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. We have a $20 donation from Matagami. Had to donate because I found out today that my uncle's throat cancer is completely gone with no signs of return. Let's keep raising money so others may have the same blessing. All right, friends, gamers from all walks of life, let's talk about Serious Sam, Siberian Mayhem. I am very sorry. A little bit of mistake there, folks. We're actually going to take a quick break first, and then we'll be right back with more AGDQ 2022 online. All right, welcome back, everyone, to AGDQ 2022 online. Friends, gamers from all walks of life, now let's talk about Serious Sam, Siberian Mayhem. Co-developed by Timelock Studio and Crow Team and published by Devolver Digital, this entry into the Serious Sam series, try saying that 5 times fast, launches on January 25th. Serious Sam, Siberian Mayhem took an unusual path, starting as an ambitious project from longtime Serious Sam community modding team, Timelock Studio. It quickly evolved into a standalone expansion under the guidance of Crow Team. Check out all the details at devolver.link/Siberian Mayhem. Folks, we have a $55 donation from Community Hat that says, combining the $5 and $50 hype trains, why do chicken coops have 2 doors? Because if they had 4 doors, they'd be chicken sedans. Wagga bagga bobo. Folks, we also have a $25 donation from a $25 donation from Bomba Unit and Tabs TSB saying, me and the boys scrounged up a bit of cash to donate to charity for the occasion that you made it on GDQ. We know you've been looking forward to it, and good luck on the run. Love from Denmark, Team Bread for the win. With that, we actually now have another interview. Kungfufruitcup is interviewing our runner for Resident Evil Village, 7 Ray D.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Hope you are all, I can say words, enjoying your awesome games done quick. Every time I check in, I say that, but I'm really, really enjoying it. This has been a fantastic week. But yes, I am here with 7 Ray D, who's getting ready to do the upcoming, I can't say words. I still can't say words. This is a Resident Evil Village run. How are you doing, Ray?
I'm doing fantastic. A bit sleepy, but yeah.
I understand that. I definitely feel that, as you can tell, I'm sure. But so I want to talk about this run. Now, for those of you at home who don't know, this is a bonus game run coming up later today. I am looking right now at the bid index for this to keep track of how we are doing so far. We need to unlock this game with a total of $170,000 so far. We have already hit over $48,000. We've got another like $500-$600 since I last checked, like 30-40 seconds ago, which is awesome. So please, everyone, keep getting your donations in for that. We're going to talk about it to get you really excited for it so that you all at home are going to be like, oh, I absolutely want to see this. The first thing I want to say about it is that this is on the hardest difficulty. This is called Village of Shadows and is a glitchless run. Can you tell us a bit about what that difficulty entails? Like, what are your limitations? What are the enemies like?
Yeah, so this difficulty specifically feels like it was balanced around the idea of New Game Plus. So basically you finish your first playthrough and you carry all your items into this playthrough where you have your upgraded weapons and all your weapons accessible from the get-go. But we're doing it from a fresh save file, which means we only get the basic weapons we start with. So to give you an idea, the first easiest enemy type of the game requires 22 headshots to kill him. So that basically gives you the idea of this difficulty.
Okay, so then in a game that requires, careful ammo conservation and things like that, what do you do? How do you actually get this done? Is it just, how do you do it?
So obviously ammo management is important, but the most important thing is we don't kill anything we don't need to, because the enemy is just, our weapons are so weak that we need all we can for like all the boss fights. And you're gonna see like explosives are gonna be very important because they're like always the same damage value, and we can craft them and all that. So
Oh, that's fair. That's right. Yeah, you can get recipes for those in craft. Yeah, I guess like avoiding as much as you can that's very common in the Resident Evil series, like when you're running it. And I assume with glitchless, it's really about how much you can avoid, how consistently, because you're not really skipping sections necessarily. Now, throughout all of the sections that you have to do in the game, because they're like, it's kind of spoilers for those, but you're going to watch this later anyway. Trust me, you're going to want to see this. With the 4 kind of main quadrants of this game, is there one that you find that you enjoy the most speedrunning, and maybe even casually?
I think it has to be the castle. At least this is also like speedrun wise. There's a lot of fights you have to do, and they're kind of precise and all that. Mm-hmm. Also, the second part, Beneviento, is probably my least favorite, and this is probably with all speedrunners, because it's something that doesn't change. And once you do it and you know all the solutions, it's kind of just walking and yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It really makes sense. It's more like I wouldn't call it an auto scroller, but it's definitely a different style than the rest of the game. So I can see why you would feel that way. But that's cool. Like it seems like you like the like you obviously like the challenge. So I can see why the castle would be interesting to you. That's awesome. Plus, you have the lady there, which everybody loves.
Indeed.
Now, since I know that you also run a lot of other like horror games, especially in the Resident Evil series, like what would you say sets this one apart for you, or like, what got you interested in it?
I think this one specifically like caught my interest. I usually like high difficulty, and in this one, like this is so much execution based, but it's actually not that much luck in it. They're like if you practice a lot, which I have, like each individual boss might require like 20 to 30 hours just that one boss itself to get it cleanly.
Wow.
And but yeah, I just like it's very execution heavy and not too much luck.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. I feel like I'm somebody who struggles a lot more with putting in so many hours just for like one thing. So it's really awesome to see people who are willing to put in that time and energy and who find the joys in being able to be that precise or being like, this is the thing that I really want to learn and put my time into. It's great. All right, so hopefully that is some good inspiration for you all. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh this bid index one more time. Let's see. Okay, we have gotten a few more donations in since, but still, we have about 6 hours left between now and the end of the next 2 runs before this happens. So please, 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 don't let me down. We need to see this run happen. Resident Evil Village, you can see the difficulty happening. Like, you can see how much fun it's going to be. Get those donations in. Trust me. It's going to be worth it. But up next, we do have some more awesome runs. We've got Lost Judgment and we have Kingdom Hearts 2. So you have some great runs to watch while you're donating. And thank you so much again, Ray, for chatting with me. I really appreciate it. It's been great. And I am going to hand it back over to Sabera to take it away and lead us into the next games. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Kungfufruitcup. I'm really looking forward to that as Resident Evil run, and I'm also looking forward to, you guessed it, the Lost Judgment Gauntlet boss rush. Let's get those incentives across the line, everyone. And now, you've all been lovely, but I'm afraid that my mic now must rest to be laid. This is the end of my hosting shift, and I'll be handing things off to Bobby Blackwolf for the Lost Judgment run. But first, please welcome back Sent, who has a special Sega prize pack to show off.
Hey, Twitch chat, do you want a prize pack? Well then step up. And make sure to get in at least a $50 minimum donation, because with the start of Lost Judgment, we have an incredible prize pack opportunity for you. For a $50 minimum donation, you'll be entered in to win all of these items as a single pack, coming to you directly from the teams at Sega. Thank you so much to Sega for putting this together. Let's take a look at some of the stuff they've sent over. So first off, you get a Switch copy of the Genesis Classics Collection. This is such a great copy. It's 50 different wonderful Sega Genesis games. Like, come on, it's got all the classics. It's got the Streets of Rage series. I know Mike's looking over at me from the control room right now. It's got the Phantasy Star RPG series, some of the best RPGs of the 16 and 8-bit era. You gotta play them. It's got so many great games. Switch copy of the Sega Genesis Classics Collection. We also have this PS4 copy of Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania, one of the best Sonic games I think I have absolutely ever played. Mania, great version of the game too. Adds so much content. Adds Mighty the Armadillo, Ray the Flying Squirrel, 2 characters that, until recently were basically lost Sonic media. Super cool to see them again. So many absolutely amazing stages in this game. Such a great speed run as well. You gotta get your hands on Sonic Mania, and you could, again, for a $50 minimum donation, so make sure to get those in. Now, we also have a couple of other really good things here. We have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different Monkey Balls, and each of them comes with a Super Monkey Ball themed pin inside. So I have, of course, chosen the fan favorite pin, and I'm sure I am going to get some flack for this on Twitter, but you know them, you love them. Come on, it's Baby. Everyone loves Baby, and everyone loves these pins because they are absolutely beautiful. You get 4 of them of this incredibly high quality in these adorable little gacha balls that are very reminiscent of the monkey balls from Super Monkey Ball. Make sure to get that $50 donation in. You don't want to miss it. Let's just roll these over here real quick to the side. So we talk about our next prize here. So we've got a steelbook case of Lost Judgment, the next game coming up in the marathon. Let me pop it open here so you can see the full art of it. Absolutely beautiful steelbook cases, a thing of beauty, always gorgeous. Lost Judgment, by the way, amazing game in the Yakuza series. If you have not checked out the Yakuza series before, you really need to. It is one of the most enthralling games of action, or one of the most enthralling series of action games I think I've ever played. It tackles such serious and earnest topics, and at the same time just manages to keep a lovely, light, and friendly atmosphere to it. Such a joy to play. I played through Like a Dragon recently, Yakuza 7, and loved every single minute of it, and I know you will too. You could have that steelbook copy of Lost Judgment as well as a digital code for Lost Judgment with that $50 minimum donation if you win one of these prize packs. Now, there is, of course, always a debate in the Shin Megami Tensei community over whether demon summoners or Persona users are better. And on the Persona side of things, we have this Persona 5 Royale Joker pin. Be careful, everyone. Joker's not only here to steal your heart, he's here to steal your invitation to Smash. Gotta watch out for that. Do not let it get taken from you. Don't let anything get taken from you. The Phantom Thieves are coming. $50 minimum donation. Also on the pin front, we have this lovely set of Lost Judgment pins. Themed after the game. They look incredible. Seriously, all the pins that Sega has sent over are just such high quality. They're so shiny. They are so bright. They are so intricately detailed, as you can see on the burger here. Absolutely incredible pin set. It's coming with the prize pack. Again, $50 minimum donation. Make sure to get it in during Lost Judgment. And then on the other side of that SMT argument, we got Devil Summoners. To go along with Devil Summoners, we've got Shin Megami Tensei 5, the Collector's Edition for Switch. Come on. It's got everything you want. It comes with a 2-disc soundtrack. It comes with a Shin Megami Tensei sling bag. It comes with a steelbook copy of the case. And it comes with a Forbidden Book of Demons featuring artwork and all kinds of cool extras of the Shin Megami Tensei series. Absolutely massive find here. Huge shout outs to Sega for sending it out to us. But that's not the only SMT5 thing we've got, because we also have this incredible official Nahobino plush. This is effectively the main character of SMT5, your protagonist fused with a demon to fight demons, as is the Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner way. It is such an amazing plush. You can't get this anywhere. This comes directly from Sega. It's so cool. Thank you so much to Sega for sending it out to us. So, to recap here, we've got the plush. We've got the collector's edition of SMT5. We've got a Lost Judgment steelbook. We have the Persona pin. We have the Lost Judgment pins as well. We've got the monkey balls with their associated monkey pins. We've got a copy of Sonic Mania and a copy of Genesis Classics. And we've got digital codes on platform of your choice for Super Monkey Ball, Banana Mania, and Lost Judgment as well. All of that for a $50 minimum donation. And you know what? We don't just have one copy of this prize pack. Sega was so kind to send us several. There are going to be multiple winners. You got a chance at winning it. Please make sure to get those donations in. And again, thank you so much to Sega for providing all of this wonderful stuff. That is going to just about do it for me, but I am so excited. You all definitely don't want to go anywhere, because the patriarch of the Yakuza speedrunning clan, Froob himself, is about to take you all back to the streets of Kamurocho for Lost Judgment.